Um, I'm going to speak to you today about translation in eukaryotes. I believe just general translation, and yeah. So we have three things in initiation. Sorry, we have three important steps in translation. We have initiation, elongation, and termination. That's the same thing that goes for transcription, where we have initiation, elongation, and termination. But anyhow, I want to explain to you initiation and elongation of translation. So I have my nice handy dandy notebook. It's really nice here. So we begin here. We have a small subunit. I'm just gonna draw it out and show it to you. So here's our small subunit right here. You can see it right there. You guys see it? Small, nice small subunit. Okay. And then we have our strands. So we have our messenger RNA strand, and this is also called, like, the line like between the messenger RNA and the small subunit. This is called the messenger RNA binding site, essentially. Whether that matters to you or not. Okay, so I have my messenger RNA. It looks like teeth right here. You know, I'm not the best artist, so just bear with me here. And essentially what we're trying to do is we have a transfer RNA. Okay, we have a transfer RNA. It's shaped like this here. Okay, and connected to it, we have the transfer RNA right here. Okay, and that transfer RNA has the anti-coding UAC. Now, how do you remember that? I don't know, just remember UAC, okay? Now, some teachers care if you know that or not. It depends on the prof, but you'll see why that matters, why it's UAC. Okay, so you have UAC here. That's the codon. Keep in mind, sorry here. This is the codon. This is the codon, not the anticodon. The anticodon will be somewhere here. Do you see what I'm saying? Somewhere here. So we of course we know, if you have a codon UAC, then you're trying to get anticodon AUG, because AUG is the complement, right? So reluctantly enough, the UAC can detect an AUG. Just by coincidence, we can say that it was able to detect UAG. So what happens? It's like, all right, I got this here, and it's going to bind. So this transfer RNA binds to the AUG, or essentially the UAC binds to the AUG. Now, if you guys know about hopefully you guys know about amino acids, UAC and AUG essentially makes methylene. Okay, and methylene is known as the starting base, or the start codon, if you will. You know that we have 3 start codons and then 61 other codons, right? So we have the methylene, MET, that binds to it. So you have the methylene, so you get the AUG. So methylene is the next step. So you get the transfer RNA that binds, with the UAC that binds to the AUG, and it forms methylene. So that's what I'm saying. It might be important to know UAC makes AUG because it forms methylene, which is the start codon. Whether that matters to you or not, I'm just going to say it out there. Okay, now we have our P site. Okay, so our P site has a transfer RNA on it. But now we have to have 3 sites. Okay, so we have the E, which is the exit, the P site, and the A site. The A site's called the aminoacyl tRNA binding site. Aminoacyl tRNA binding site. Now, I should have talked to you about, if I do have time, I can go back and talk to you about the aminoacyl tRNA synthase. But essentially, you have the E exit, you have the P, and then A. Now, how I think about it is A is the patriarch, if you will. Now, A being a patriarch, you're always in the middle, right? I mean, if you're Orthodox or Catholic or whatever you are, then you'll know that P is like stands for patriarch. I don't want to get too religious now, but that's one way you can remember. Other way you can remember is like energy protection agency. I'm not sure. You can think of any way you want to remember it. So you have the UAC, and then the P site has the transfer RNA on it. Okay, only the P site at this moment has the transfer RNA. The last stage, which is somewhat important, not really, whether you care or not, is you form the large subunit, or the large ribosomal subunit. Okay. Now some of you are like, why is he looking at his book? I just want to be very accurate as possible. Like I could say it's off the top of my head, but then sometimes, you know, I'm trying not to use the book either, but just to make sure I'm giving you the right information. So you have the large ribosomal subunit, and then the small ribosomal subunit. These guys see that? And you have the EPA, so Energy Protection Agency, okay? Or whatever you guys want to remember, okay? So you got that great, right? Now, as we go into the stage of elongation, we have this polypeptide, which is essentially just amino acids that's being formed on the P. So you got the methylene. We start with the methylene, and then you get, let's see here. Anyone can come up with some good names here, maybe? Phi, Lu, Sir. Of course, this, you know, I'm just trying to get you guys names, but of course, this doesn't really matter what it is, okay? So you have so you have the elongation, you have the polypeptide chain that's being formed. Also, the transfer RNA also attaches to an A site. So the codon of the transfer RNA also attaches to an A site. So you have a codon 2 that's on the A site too. So you have a codon here, and this codon. So you got the transfer RNA here. So this is transfer RNA. Remember this shape right here? This shape right here is transfer RNA. But this is on the A site. So we have a transfer RNA on the A site. And you also have an amino acid. So it has an amino acid. We'll call it Phi. It doesn't really matter, like I said. Okay? And what happens is all those amino acids, you have all these amino acids from the P site that come, you have the amino acids right here, they bind down all the way to the A site. So A site's like a stealer, just takes all those amino acids from the P site, binds all of them together at the A site, okay? Are you guys following here with me? Yeah. You know, I have to have some, like, you know, background sounds, you know? And then so yeah. So then what happens is you have all the amino acids at the A site, the P site gets kicked off, and so you have like the A site here. So then this, so as it's being in the A site, it transfers back to the P site. The transfer RNA in that P site is removed, and then that amino acid moves to the exit. So exit, you know, means removed, and essentially you end up having a nice strand of protein complex or polypeptide chain of protein. Okay. Now you guys, I told you I'll talk about aminoacyl tRNA synthase, which is actually before all of this, and this is how you charge. This would be like a charging of the tRNA or charging an amino acid, if you will. So we have the aminoacyl tRNA synthase. This beautiful structure right here. And then you have like two openings. So you have an opening where you can put an amino acid. So an amino acid forms right here. And then another one, a transfer RNA gets attached. So you have like two binding sites essentially, okay? One binding site for the amino acid, and then another site where you can place the transfer RNA. Amino acid at the top, that diamond-shaped thing, or square, rectangle, and then the tRNA synthase is the transfer RNA would be like the rectangular shaped figure, as you can see, and they get and then what happens is you have the ATP, it loses two P's, and you know that when ATP loses two P's, it becomes AMP because adenine monophosphate rather than adenine triphosphate. Whether that matters to you or not, I'm just putting it out there. So the amino acid just attaches to the transfer RNA. It shoots out. Well, it doesn't shoot out, but it gets out, and essentially you have a charged aminoacyl tRNA. So once the amino acid's on there, you have a charged form of aminoacyl tRNA synthase. This is actually my first video that relates to academics, and you can probably see I'm not the best at teaching, but you know, I hope to do better in the future. I mean, this might be something I think of doing, and I'll see what you guys think about it. And I appreciate it so much. Thank you.